Did you know movie star Natalie Portman became entangled in a love triangle with Gael Garcia Bernal that ended in such a humiliating way? Natalie Portman began her career really young, and at just 14 she had her breakout role in Leon the Professional. Then, the Star Wars prequels, No Strings Attached, Closer, and the Thor Marvel franchise. Despite my girl being a Hollywood actress, she's also a Harvard graduate. Deadass, she's really that educated baddie. Natalie usually always tends to avoid controversy and scandals. Since a young age, Natalie was America's sweetheart, and audiences have seen her grow up on screen. Unlike many child stars, Portman's career actually transitioned successfully into adulthood. And in 2003, she would meet fellow actor Gael Garcia Bernal. As a Latina, I'm aware of Gael, but to those of you who aren't. Gael Garcia Bernal is a Mexican actor who has starred in films like YTuMamaTambien, Amor y Perros, Disney's Coco, Babel, Mozart in the Jungle. Natalie and Bernal had a thing in common, which was that both were immigrants who became child stars. He began acting at age 1, so he really didn't have a choice in pursuing his career. He would star in El Abuelo Io alongside Mexican actress Ludvika Paleta. His parents were both actors and directors, so homeboy for real, a nepo baby. He worked alongside his bestie Diego Luna as both continued to be close. Bernal would go on to do many novellas which brought him national fame. As adults, Bernal and Portman's careers transition well as they have gained a lot of critical acclaim for their performances. Since both grew up in the spotlight, they were extremely private. They were so discreet that there's hardly any freaking photos of them together despite their years-long relationship. But they were more of a situationship as homeboy was fight of commitment. The couple would attend the same events, however, not together but instead with their own team. They would break up and get back together for many years. It kinda seemed like Bernal was embarrassed about dating Natalie, because he didn't want to be a public couple, but I think it was just that he wanted to be a hoe and wanted to get away with it without the consequences. In one of their breakups, she dated Jake Gyllenhaal, but when she returned to Bernal, homeboy would cheat on her multiple times. However, let's go back to the past. Natalie Portman and the other woman. In 2001, Bernal met Argentina actress Dolores Fonzi after they were in a film together in Vidas Privadas. In 2001, Bernal met Dolores. By 2003, he begins dating Natalie. Now cut to 2007, they have been on/off for a while but officially get back together. However, Bernal has to go film in Argentina. But who's going to be in Argentina? Well, his old castmate Dolores Fonzi. They begin a careless affair that eventually gets back to Natalie. So our baddie decides to go to Argentina to confront Bernal.
En Buenos Aires y en medio de un ataque de furia, la estrella de Hollywood y novia de Gael Garcia Bernal, Natalie Portman, agredió impunemente a una reportera gráfica que pugnaba por sacarle una fotografía. Cotorreando le muestra en exclusiva el video del momento en que Natalie salía de un restaurante del área del Palermo Soho en medio de un agitado operativo de seguridad. Mientras era acosada por los paparazzi, no pudo contenerse y la situación se le fue de las manos.
It was a horrible experience for Natalie, because not only was she physically assaulted, but her boyfriend of many years decided to choose his co-star over her. Homegirl actually was sus about Dolores and when I tell you she was right, considering that later on. Fonzi, the woman he said to not worry about, became the mother of his kids. Dolores and Bernal would go on to have 2 kids, but by 2014 they separated. They never got married despite having children together. As for Natalie, well, my girl met Benjamin Millipied while filming 2009's Black Swan. He was her choreographer and our girl was hooked on his riz. In 2011, the couple welcomed their son Aleph, and in 2017, their daughter Amalia. Married by 2012, but 14 years later would be divorced as Benji was caught having an affair with a younger woman, Camille Etienne. And Benji has cheated all throughout their marriage, but Natalie was desperate to save her crumbling marriage, but homeboy didn't give a As for Gael Garcia Bernal, he's been in a relationship with Mexican journalist Fernanda Aragoni since 2019. They later welcomed their son in 2021. As for Dolores Fonzi, Sista has been in a long-term relationship with Argentinian filmmaker Santiago Miter since 2015, and Sista has no plans to marry in the future. As for my baby girl Natalie, she has been in a relationship with Tanguy Destable, a French musician and producer since March 2025. And that's it for today's episode of Movie Star Storytime. Next week's episode will be about Natalie Portman's marriage to Benjamin Millipied, so stay tuned.